We have a replay here from Coops and Maestro Fabro. Maestro Fabro? Mastro Fabo. I don't know, man. Slaanesh versus Empire. Not a matchup we get to see very often. Slaanesh has taken a couple hits, especially in domination mode, but also land battles. They're falling down a little bit. Though Coops and a couple other dedicated Slaanesh fans have been trying to keep them relevant. I'm still not sold that they are good, but I am sold after trying some of them. They are quite fun. I do enjoy playing Slaanesh. I lose a lot, but I enjoy it. For Coops' Slaanesh, we have one Chaos Knight. Hellstriders with Hell Scourges, looks like two of them, two Seekers. We have a Hellflayer. Ooh, wow, Hellflayer, okay. And then 5 Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, plus a Herald. Herald does offer some nice buffs around her. She also is still a spellcaster, has a Fury Summon, lots of good stuff. Hellflayer I'm not so sold on. In theory, they're really good at like shredding through a lot of low armor chaff infantry, but I don't know. In practice, they seem to struggle. On the other side, for the Empire, we have Halberds, Flagellants, some Spearmen, 2 War Wagons, the Sunmaker, the White Wolves, Arwar Huntsman, for some reason, Jade Wizards with Dweller's Blow and Earthblood, and Boris Todbringer with one Demigryph Knight with Halberds for a little bit of backline defense. Already a Fury Summon is coming in from Slaanesh. It looks like it's just going to dive straight onto the Sunmaker. Sunmaker's trying to defend itself as it gets attack orders onto them real quick. It's not fast enough. The Crossmen nearby. Oh, they're a Crossman. I missed you somehow. Crossmen nearby, and maybe the Demigryph Knights can come back here and deal with those Furies, get the Sunmaker back online, but it's going to be too little too late, as the front lines are already colliding, and that's not really where you want the Sunmaker to be. It's not good at shooting front lines, especially in short range, because it'll friendly fire its own guys quite significantly. Demigryphs will deal with the Chaos Furies, though it was a summon, so no one cares that much if it dies. And Hell Scourges are coming in. Where are those Hellflayers? I really want to see them do some good work. Looks like they're trying to run down the White Wolves. And they did not do as much damage as I was hoping. They did blitz straight through the Halberdiers. They did okay damage over there. Not a ton of the White Wolves, but okay over there. Demigryphs immediately push off the Hellstriders, though the Sunmaker is out of commission. So far, good trades for Slaanesh. Here comes another rear charge from the Hellflayers onto the Spearmen with shields. Hey guys, real quick. Whenever anybody says chariots aren't working correctly and chariots are a problem and chariots need buffs, if patch 3.1 has come out by now and they fixed that, cool. But on patch 3.0, this is the kind of moments we're talking about. That that moment right there is exactly what we're talking about with chariots not working correctly. It did literally 0 damage. Okay, if 3.1 is out by the time this replay hits the old YouTube, then hopefully that for the love of God they fixed that. So Hellflayers still trying to make their mark. In the distance, Boris landed, and this is happening. I wonder if a Dweller's Below is going to get cast to bail him out of this situation. Now, thankfully for him, again, 3.1 might have changed these things. I don't know when this video will come out, but Chaos Knights tend to be too big for their models are too big, and they have issues really landing hits. So Boris, even while surrounded by all these things, they're just not swinging at him very much. He is taking a little bit of damage, but not nearly enough. So Boris might be in trouble. Back in the Empire lines, things are rough. Things are rough, but doable. Do have some routing units, which Slaanesh does like to chase down for that army passive. But the Demigryph Knights with Halberds are a very menacing backline threat, and they're doing a lot of good work against the Seekers and the Hell Scourges, though they want to avoid the Chaos Warriors, which they're currently inundated with. And the Empire infantry is faltering, falling apart quite significantly, so nothing to hold back that backline. Really, all that is left is a couple Halberdiers, but mostly the Lifecaster, Demigryph Knights, Boris, and the War Wagons. All the infantry is pretty much toast at this juncture. Chaos Knights with Lances charging into these Halberdiers. Doing okay. Not amazing, but okay. And Boris is back on the Seekers. Now, I really do like Boris versus demon-type factions because of all the leadership debuffs he offers. He can really get them down to that crumbling point quite quickly. You can see these Seekers are already thinking about getting out of dodge, and they're down to 1/3 HP. But if they start that demonic instability crumbling, that is a very expensive unit already out of the way. Hellflayers locked down in halberdiers as some of their models are getting out to safety. One of them is just trapped in there, not having a good time. Boris does finish his job of sniping out that Seeker of Slaanesh. But the Herald does not feel like letting him get away with that for free, and she charges in for some nice damage, while the Demigryph Knights with halberds absolutely slaughter the Chaos Knights. There is the second and final Fury Summon chasing off the War Wagons, maybe going to waste some of their ammo. That looks like the Empire player is pretty good at focusing on stuff that's actually real to shoot at. Hellflayers trying to figure out something to do. They have pretty pitiful value for honestly how well they've been played. Like, they've been getting a lot of good charges off, and they're still just not doing anything. Demigryph Knights do finish off those Chaos Knights of Slaanesh, pushing them away. Now they are stuck fighting Chaos Warriors, which is not what the Empire really wants. Ooh, with Acquiescence on them. 15 melee defense, they want out of here, they will leave. But thankfully for Boris, all the mobile elements have been pushed away, so he can walk out of the Chaos Warriors anytime. Instead, the Demigryph Knights get a charge of their own onto the Hellstriders, who are barely hanging on to their leadership. There they go, they rout. Well, it looked like they had positive leadership the whole time. I'm sure it was spiking down behind the scenes or something silly. Herald's still trying to take a fight with them. She has to be careful, though. There's no support for her back here, and she could take a walloping from those Demigryph Knights. We're now getting a good surround onto her. Her 55 melee defense keeping her safe for now, but it's only so long. Yeah, and she's taking a lot of damage she doesn't want to be taking. War Wagons are starting to get used in melee as their ammo dwindles lower and lower. The Hellflayers are charging around yet again. Bounce power is favoring the Empire quite significantly, and I would tend to agree, as the Herald of Slaanesh takes a fight with Boris. Boris has Deadly Onslaught popped with Acquiescence's 47-16 melee stats are nothing compared to the 64-55 of the Herald of Slaanesh, who is just working on him. Now, somehow, I do think he's having some pretty rough RNG here, because he hasn't hit her in like the entire time looking at her, but now with that Locus of Grace, now it's pretty bad for him to try and fight. Like 47 compared to 79 melee defense, he's just not going to hit, and she is whooping his ass into the dirt. Demigryph Knights now get surrounded on three sides. They have Chaos Knights plus two different Chaos Warriors eating them alive. And man, this Herald is just kicking Boris in the teeth. Go, Herald, go! Oh, Boris, you poor bastard. He hasn't landed like a single hit. Which, like, she has better stats and she's been casting buff spells and stuff. It's still a little unlucky from Boris, but also, like, there is a lot of support. I get that. It's just funny, like, how badly he's doing in this fight. Jesus Christ. Nice little whip of Slaanesh. Lash of Slaanesh, actually, deals with those halberdiers. Probably get them routing pretty soon. Demigryph Knights are pushed off at last. The Hellflayers fade away after their valiant attempt at being useful. They failed. War Wagons up on the hill firing down on it looks like the Herald. Now for Slaanesh, they are still quite down in the balance of power. While the Herald did do really nicely in punishing Boris Todbringer, they are down to pretty much just some Chaos Warriors left around. Fascination and Acquiescence cast on him. Fascination is the army ability that makes him rampage. Acquiescence lowers his melee defense, making him fresh fish for the Herald of Slaanesh. Charging in, she has devastating flanker, so when she charges in from behind like that, she gets an extra charge bonus. Can she get good hits onto Boris? There is one. There's another. Boris is routing. Another hit onto him. This Herald is trying to put the game on her back as she pushes Boris off the map. War Wagons are around. That one is out of ammo. So is this one. So both War Wagons out of ammunition. The Empire still has a healthy-ish Jade Wizard. Boris is heal capped, though, so the Jade Wizard won't be able to help him. The only thing it can heal are these pretty meh chariots in the War Wagons with no ammunition left. And I guess the halberdiers could try and save some of them. Herald's trying to rout off these halberdiers, but the Chaos Warriors do abandon her, and nearby enemies routing will give the halberdiers a little bit of a boost, but it's not enough. They are pushed off. Can Slaanesh hang on? Oh, they're trying. Oh, they are trying. The Herald of Slaanesh realizes the balance of power is going quite against her, and if she wants any hope in this game, she needs to kill that Jade Wizard, who is so much of the Empire's balance of power right now. She charges for him. It looks like halberdiers are trying to form up. Good rear charge, but unfortunately, we are still living in the world where knocking over a foot character makes them invulnerable, so her rear charge led to nothing. Chaos Warriors right off the Spearmen. Empire is reforming ranks, but so are the Chaos Warriors. You have Chaos Warriors in the distance rallying. Boris is still routing over there. The Herald of Slaanesh dives back in. Again, knocking over the Jade Wizard will not deal any damage to him. If you in the future are on 3.1, thank God, and I also really hope that they fixed foot characters, please. Please fix foot characters. If you're on 3.1 and they didn't, I'm going to be extremely pissed in the future. But for now, I'm living in the dim hope that they fix that. Jade Wizard gets a nice hit on her. She returns the favor, knocking him on his bum. Boris is rallied at the edge of the map, doing his best to stay involved, and the Herald of Slaanesh is still in here fighting with her Chaos Warrior brethren. More Chaos Warriors wandering in, though it looks like war wagons are trying to charge them. They are still chariots, though they're not very good at melee stuff. They are still chariots. They're punting around these Chaos Warriors, trying to get them to rout again as the Herald chases down these other ones. But soon she gives up on that chase and realizes the Herald, the Jade Wizard is still her biggest problem on the balance of power. She sees him, she gets an attack order onto him. A rear charge with devastating flanker, all those things should give her all the stats she needs to hit this fucking guy. And she misses anyway, because she knocked him down. Foot character things. And instead she goes and karate chops an entire war wagon to death. Other war wagons harassing those Chaos Warriors, but the Herald is making her vengeance known upon these ones. She's like, I can't hit that fucking Jade Wizard because he's a foot character, I guess, but I can hit you. I can hit you super easily. And at the same time that I don't know what can kill the Herald on this map, she is demonic, so if her leadership falters for even a second, she is going to start demonic instability crumbling and just kill herself off, and I'm very concerned about that. Chaos Warriors kill off some Spearmen, do shatter them, but they get countercharged by war wagons. Will that finish them off? As the Herald of Slaanesh continue to chase the war wagons for a bit. Okay, I guess I can't fast forward this replay. I guess we have to cast it in real time. Boris is finally coming back. He was trying to just stay away from the fight and provide leadership for the Empire by not routing and not being dead. But he realizes he does have to come in as the Jade Wizard takes a nasty shot from the Herald. He's getting beat up by some Chaos Warriors. What can man do against such reckless Chaos Warriors? Balance of power shifts incredibly into the favor of Slaanesh. As the Jade Wizard continues to get poked down, Boris actually shatters off, and all of the Empire's hopes and dreams are in these out-of-ammo war wagons, who charge back in. And the Herald dives onto them, getting a really, really good shot, but the Chaos Warriors at her side are going to rout. Do the other ones rout? With friends routing nearby and getting charged by war wagons, they might possibly, but the Jade Wizard is slinking away. Can he rally, and if so, what can he do? He has Dwellers Below and Earthblood for spells. I haven't seen a ton of Dwellers Below. I've seen a couple Earthbloods. Jade Wizard must have gotten off a good Dwellers at some point, though, because he has 800 value. And yeah, look at her leadership. That's what I was worried about before. She hasn't even taken that much damage, but her leadership's down to 8. And he self-casts a Dwellers Below to trap these last Chaos Warriors, absolutely shredding through them as he himself routs. And this Herald is all that is left. The Jade Wizard has routed yet again. War wagons charge her. And her Locus of Grace wears off, lowering her melee defense back down to a paltry 55, which is really, really tough for these war wagons to get through. I don't know if they can maybe get a good impact damage on a charge and get her to start shattering or something. But war wagons rout, other war wagons rout, and army losses takes it, leaving only a very low Herald of Slaanesh to win the day. $4,100 value on that Herald. Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh all did actually quite nicely. Hell Scourges for those Hell Striders did well. Hellflayers still really, really suck. I think that's a 1,100 gold unit, and it just, despite all the micro put into it, did not pay for itself at all. Seekers of Slaanesh struggled a little bit to get their value back, and Chaos Knights of Slaanesh did okay. For Maestro, Boris was alright. He got caught out a few times, but he's more of a supportive lord anyway, so you don't expect him to pay for himself. The Empire State troops performed admirably, did their best. The Embergriff Knights with halberds were really, really good. War wagons were fantastic, but the Sunmaker was effectively shut down by that Fury summon. Roar! Subscribe, yes, yes.